What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Sioux Falls Regional Airport for the 53rd airport update for the month of June 2024. More exciting news for our DFW Mainline and for the airport as a whole, and I'll talk more about that towards the end of the video. Starting off here, gate number 1, we have this Delta Airbus E320. This aircraft arrived in from Minneapolis is flight 2304 at 10:52 p.m. Had to be scheduled 10:57 p.m. arrival. Still seeing the 320s on Delta Mainline from both MSP and Atlanta through most of the summer, so that's good news. Happy to see that extra capacity hanging on here in FSD. Moving along to Gate 5B, we have this American Airbus A320. This aircraft arrived in from DFW as flight 2872 at 12:40 p.m. Had to be scheduled 12:50 p.m. arrival. And we got a couple changes coming up later this summer for our DFW Mainline. First thing that you're going to notice here in July is that the 320 is going to stay with us, so that is very good to see. So that means there's a lot of demand coming from DFW to FSD and back if they're having to send in a larger aircraft on a regular basis. The only thing I'm noticing too is the Envoy Mainline. That's going to switch to a probably SkyWest CRJ 700, which is going to be very interesting. So I think they have about the same amount of seats, so not really much of a change there other than just the aircraft type that's coming in. And then as we head into August, the third daily flight that we're going to have with that regional carrier, that's going to disappear, and it'll just be 2 daily aircraft on the 319. But then when we get into September, the regional jet is going to come back. So as we head throughout the fall, we'll have the regional carrier back, and it will be on the Envoy 175 in this case. So plenty of changes as we move through the remainder of the summer and into the fall for our American Mainline service. Very much excited for what the future holds for it, and hopefully we'll get some larger aircraft and perhaps even some more frequent DFW Mainline events. Now we go from the biggest American aircraft at FSD to the smallest one. This American Eagle CRJ 200, Air Wisconsin operated, arrived in from Chicago O'Hare as flight 6138. This arrived in at 9:45 a.m., had to be scheduled 10:07 a.m. arrival. And I'm still seeing the Air Wisconsin CRJ 200s coming in for most of the summer, so plenty more chances for the retro CRJ 200 to come in, and hopefully that'll come in whilst we have a very special event going on shortly after the big event that's going on as this video is being uploaded. Busy scene here with this United 737-800 in the Evo blue colors. This aircraft arrived in from Denver as flight 2461 at 10:18 p.m. delayed from a 8:36 p.m. scheduled arrival. So we're looking at a delay of about an hour and 42 minutes. So significant delay here for the folks coming in from the Mile High City. And I'd like to report on what Denver is going to send in next, but they always keep shaking it up, as I've said many times before. Sometimes it'll be a 319, other times it'll be a 320, other times it'll be this, the 737-800. Sometimes they'll send in the 900, other times they'll send in the MAX, so they always like to flip-flop between those various types. So the next thing that we do need is a 321neo, which, speaking of which, it has glitched on flight radar a couple of times. Our Chicago Mainline flight, United 403, on 2 separate occasions now that I have documented, it has swapped from a 737-700 to an E321neo. And we never got the A321neo because those were scheduled for flights to the West Coast usually. One of them, I believe, was going to San Francisco, and I don't remember where the second one was going to. But we've had that happen a couple of times with flight radar, but hopefully that's a sign that maybe we'll get the A321neo one day. I know those are meant for the more flagship routes, like the transcon routes between hubs and other bigger cities between the East Coast and the West Coast and vice versa. So it is nice to see them flying around, and I've yet to spot one, but hopefully that time is coming very soon. Here's another flight coming in from the Mile High City, this little Embraer 175, arriving in as flight 5378. This is a SkyWest operated flight. This arrived in at 4:01 p.m., had to be scheduled 4:18 p.m. arrival, so just right around the time when one of my buddies usually likes to upload on a daily basis. Making some kind of a reference right there indeed. And then our last aircraft at the terminal, we have this Delta Connection CRJ 900, also coming in from MSP as flight 4802. This is operated by Endeavor Air. This arrived in at 10:09 a.m., had to be scheduled 10:17 a.m. arrival. And I just noticed that it is the sister ship to the infamous CRJ 900 that Gemini jets did all the way back in the late 2000s, 679 Charlie Alpha. This one is 678. That's all the aircraft we have here at the terminal. Unfortunately, I do not have a parking garage update, but I'll be sure to get a post of it out on Instagram in the coming days. Probably sometime whenever I get back from Airliners International, because obviously that's going to be going on by the time this video comes out, and I'm recording this on the day before that I leave, so my main goal here is just to get this video out. But thankfully I do have some big news to report on right at the end of the video that will sort of make up for the fact that there's no parking garage update in this particular airport update. So we got 3 more aircraft to take a look at, 2 arrivals and a departure, so we'll take a look at the arrivals first and then our last departure. Here's our pair of arrivals, so I'll go ahead and do the one that's leading the other one here, this Allegiant E320. This came in from Phoenix Mesa as flight 2300 at 7:46 p.m., heavy scheduled 8:07 p.m. arrival. And I forgot to report in last month's update that we did get our LAX service back, so that has returned for the summer season. Hopefully it does become like a year-round thing, because I know LAX, they have a big collectible show out there in like January and June, and then they also have the big spotting meet up there, the Cranky Dork Fest as they like to call it, in September. So one of these days I hope to attend either or, but as of right now I'm in a bit of a tight place. So really my main focus has just been Airliners International for the moment, but I'm hopeful to attend that event one day, so it is in my plans, and we'll be sure to get to that when the time is right and when budget allows. And then moving on to our other arrival here, here's our Embraer 175 coming in from DFW as flight 3882, operated by Envoy Air at 4:13 p.m., heavy scheduled 4:36 p.m. arrival. In our last aircraft for this update, we have this A319. This is our other mainline flight for the moment. This is heading out to DFW as flight 2880 at 7:44 a.m., delayed from a 7 a.m. scheduled arrival, so this aircraft is delayed by 44 minutes. That's all the aircraft we have here at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some big news that was announced about a week ago regarding the terminal expansion project that has been talked about previously. So this article is from SiouxFalls.business with Jody Schwan. I will link it in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself, but I'll try to summarize it best I can. So as I've talked about, the plan with this terminal expansion project is obviously to add more gates and increase capacity since the airport is growing. They're planning to add at least 5 gates right now, and then they may do a 6th if budget allows. So as of right now, it seems like they're going to add just 5 gates for the moment, but they could add another one as well if they get extra funding for this project. So as of right now, they're in the stage where they're finalizing the design, and they did release a couple more renders on this article, so I'll go ahead and pop them up on your screen so you can check them out. But it does look really nice on the inside, and the design is a lot more, as I said, like finalized. It looks much nicer here, and I'm really happy with how the renderings turned out. It looks really good on the inside with the various waiting areas, plenty of open space. It feels like a much larger and more modern international airport. So this will definitely elevate FSD into a more recognizable airport compared to where it was at like maybe 10, 20 years ago. So it's looking really nice here, and they also do talk about the parking garage in here, which is kind of fitting. They're saying that they're going to probably open around mid-September now, so we do have a bit more of a narrow ETA as to when that will open, so I'm hoping that I'll have some time to head up to the airport to check that out when it opens. That's been my plan ever since this project started. And they're also looking to add some additional long-term parking areas as the construction begins to conclude. So there'll be some extra parking since we've obviously been constrained on that due to the parking garage going in. So it's always been recommended, you know, take a ride-share service, Uber or Lyft, or just have someone drive you up to the airport, which is what I did when I went to Airliners International last year in Dallas when they were just in the early stages of construction of the parking garage. So it's really crazy just to see how far this project has come along in the 1 year since I last flew out of FSD. So here's a picture of when I was flying out of FSD. Not a whole lot going on there. And then this is the latest picture that I have. So it's come along very, very, very far. And that is incredible to see. Taking advantage of the nice winter that we had and the nice spring up until about a couple weeks ago when we started getting tons of rain. So we've been taking advantage of that and getting the project done in the most efficient way possible. That's all I have for the update on the new terminal expansion project. So great to see that it's in the stages where the design is being finalized, and they'll get a contractor here hopefully in the coming months, and they're going to say it'll take about 18 to 24 months for construction to complete, so about 2 years or so at the higher end. So very excited to see that officially begin groundbreaking at some point in the future. I don't know when exactly they'll do it, since they're still in just the design stages, so it will be a while before we see any more significant updates on that project. And as I've talked about with Airliners International, the convention's going on right now. We're on day 2 of the show as this video is being posted. Very much excited to go back there for my 3rd year, and it's just incredible that I even have the opportunity to go, and I'm very much excited to see where 2025 show is going to be, which it sounds like it will be Atlanta, but as I record this, they have not officially announced where next year's show is going to be yet, but they have provided some hints that would make it sound like Atlanta is going to be the host city for next year, possibly at the Delta Flight Museum, which is just north of ATL. So very excited when they put the official announcement out, and if it's ATL, then I'll definitely be sure to make plans to attend that show, because it's just going to be incredible. I've been wanting to go to the Delta Flight Museum for so long. It'd just be so nice to go back there, go there for the first time, and just experience what that museum is like, because it is incredible. My buddy Connor's visited there a couple of times. He said nothing but great things about it, and I'm sure he'll be very much excited to go back there whenever he goes to I know he's got plans to attend the Atlanta one-day show in October here, which I would love to go to, but I don't know if I'll be able to go for sure. And then I'd also, and then we'll see what happens with Airliners International as we move later on into this week. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.